Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend 58, also the Darth Vader. Why? Well, we'll get into that. Could it sneak into a Bourbon of the Year contender? You're going to want to hear about this batch. Don't believe me? I find your lack of faith disturbing. See what I did there? Let's taste the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Darth Vader batch right now on the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I am Jason C. from the Mash and Drum, and today we are reviewing the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend number 58, batch number 58, or AKA the Darth Vader, which is both the highest proof cigar blend batch to date, and also, according to the Nose Master Blender Nancy Fraley, it has the darkest personality of all the batches. Take a look. So Joseph A. Magnus & Company is the second iteration of the Magnus brand. Originally started by Joseph A. Magnus in 1892, the company produced whiskey until Prohibition. Afterwards, the brand was revitalized when Joseph Magnus's great-grandson discovered a few unopened bottles bearing the family name. It was then reestablished in 2015, and today, the company focuses on blending and finishing techniques initially developed by Joseph Magnus himself. Now, the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Bourbon was developed by Nancy the Nose Fraley, the amazing master blender, whiskey consultant, rum consultant, and distillery consultant, helping launch numerous craft distilleries across the country that have gone on to craft award-winning whiskeys. Let's just say when it comes to whiskey, the force is strong with her. All right, so I'm gonna pour this real quick. So the Joseph Magnus, it's a finished bourbon. Originally, created with the intent of pairing it with cigar, hence the name Cigar Blend. Now, the finishes in this bourbon include 3 well-known spirits that pair well with cigars, including Armagnac, Sherry, and Cognac, which can give many different flavor variations batch to batch. No cigar blend is the same. Some are sweet, some are spicy, some are tropical, some are herbal, some have a little bit of everything going on. Generally, these are cask-strength expressions using a combination of their award-winning Joseph Magnus bourbon and 11 and 18-year-old whiskey blended in. Now, Nancy Fraley is a pretty well-known cigar aficionado herself, so she really takes great care in, creating this whiskey to pair with some really good cigars. Now, according to the website, the 2021 Autumn Series is part of a larger cumare. Now, cumare means mother blend of 16 bourbon barrels ranging in age from 14 to 20 years old, sourced from Indiana. Now this batch 58 clocks at a hefty alcohol by volume of 66.17% or 132.34 proof. This is number 58, as I mentioned, AKA Darth Vader. It's available in select markets for a retail price of about 175 bucks. All right, so this is definitely a whiskey that you could smell. I mean, you could use this shit as an air freshener in the room. Just set it in a glass and just leave it there, and you just start smelling it. It's that intense. It's named Darth Vader for a reason. I've reviewed cigar blends in the past, but I felt like this one really needed to be called out. It's pretty damn amazing from my first couple tastes, but let's dive into the nose and see how it's opened up a little bit. We'll also add a little bit of water to it to see what that does, which I have not done yet. This is like if you guys have ever had, if you've ever bought espresso beans that have been finished in a bourbon barrel. That's what you kind of get on the nose here. Now for the color of this, it is very, very dark. I mean, you could tell there's some really nice aged whiskey in here. I get honey-coated dates in here. A lot of chocolate. Maybe even some of those dark chocolate-covered espresso beans that you get to snack on. There's a lot of rich, just dark fruits in here. I mean, I already talked about the dates, but you could pull out like black cherry, blackberries. I get the top part of like a creme brulee. Like, forget the vanilla custard at the bottom of the creme brulee. This is like if you took the top you know, sugar part that they torch to make it black and crunchy. Just kind of like scrape that off the top of it and crumble it up and put it in the glass, and that's what it kind of smells like. And I get some nice like leather in here. It does kind of keep like a very concentrated rum characteristic in here too, which is something I was lucky enough to have Nancy Fraley on the channel, and she talked about that a lot of, you know, the flavors within a cigar blend, you know, because she works with rum so much, you know, a lot of the notes that she picks up can be, you know, can be a callback to some of the rums that she works with, like really some of that, like that black strap, you know, rum has like really thick molasses type features to it, which you could definitely get in here. It is just dark, rich, dense. This actually reminds me a little bit of the Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. Remember how much I love that one, but with less ethanol, less heat, and actually some more depth of flavor on the nose. So if that should tell you how good the nose is on this. All right, let's try it. I mean, you could chew this bourbon. You could chew it. And it's thick, it's rich, it's oily, it's fruity. It's like, I mean, it's like just taking like any dark fruit you could think of and just like pouring some molasses on top of it. I get a lot of the dark chocolate. I get the espresso bean on here. Yeah, the dark chocolate covered espresso beans, it's definitely there. Very, very rich. It starts off so sweet up front, and then it starts getting to that bitter chocolate area. And then on the back end, you start getting like the leather and like sweet pipe tobacco. There's a little bit of a dryness factor to it, but the spice that continues on in this and the finish, this bourbon definitely lives on the dark side. I mean, you know, while Darth Vader's, you know, sitting there planning the demise of the rebels, he's probably sipping on this shit. It's like, it's that dark and rich. It's crazy. Yeah, more of the dark cherries are coming out. You start to get, I've always come to find with these Joseph Magnus cigar blends, the more they sit, the more you get some more air into it. More of the Armagnac and Cognac really start pushing through. You get some of the grapey notes, the cherry. Finish goes on for days on this. This is a beautiful, beautiful blend. It's just so dark and rich. I mean, this could end up sneaking into my top 10 this year. I mean, I've been looking for a top 10, another couple bottles to round out my top 10, because like I said before, it's been a little disappointing this year with a lot of disappointing bourbons. But this one I think has a really good shot of getting in there. Oh, it's so damn delicious, and it's consistent so far. What you're getting from the front of the palate, you're getting those like honey soaked dates. They're really like charred, you know, the sugar on top, the top of that creme brulee, coming into the dark chocolate espresso beans. Long spicy finish, and it's not just heat, it's a lot of flavor. You're getting a lot of like the sweet oak, like the wood sugars, and you're getting the, again, like a sweet tobacco note, a little bit of that drying from like that leathery type aspect to it on the back end of it as well. It's ridiculous. It's such a damn good cigar. Like when you just hear like darkest blend ever, like you just gotta run to that batch. Now, while I do enjoy some of the other batches that I've had, like some of the spicier ones, actually this one right here, batch 25, that one was called the Pirate Cask, from what I remember, and it had a lot of those, you know, rum characteristics, some pineapple, some tropical notes that were coming out of that one. This is just on like another, I mean, again, the dark side of all that. There's not a lot of tropical notes going on this one. This is all deep, dark, rich. If that's your wheelhouse, this is you'll absolutely love this. All right, I'm gonna add a drop of water to this, which I have not done yet, and at such a high proof, I'll do 2 drops of water here. See what that does. All right, let's see what we get here. Oh, it got even sweeter. Now I'm starting to get the bottom part of the creme brulee. Not only a little bit of that crispy top, but now the vanilla custard's coming through. Yeah, the water really opened up the sweetness. It's almost released like a like you gotta get the high rye now coming through. A little bit of the rye spice. You get some like charred orange peels, maybe a little bit of like mint and lemon. A lot of black pepper now coming through. but it's still keeping that nice like dark cherry, that dark cherry aspect to it. Some of the grape is still coming out. All right, let's try it with the water. Personally, I like it without the water. I like how dark and rich it is. It stays dark and rich here, but with the water, to me, it just brings out more of the rye heavy notes. A little bit more of the spice. It gets a little bit, you know, it still gets like sugary and sweet. I feel like it gets sweeter with a little bit of water here, but I kind of prefer it without the water. I like how dark and rich it is without the water, but holy hell. This is an absolutely fantastic batch of cigar blend from Joseph Magnus. All right, let's go to the final breakdown on this one. All right, final breakdown on this Magnus. Price for it is 175 bucks. Secondary, you see these usually in a range from 300 to 400, depending on what batch it is. Availability, let's say it together, limited. Stop looking at me like that, Grinch. Value for this at 175 bucks. I like the value of this. Remember, you're getting bourbons in here, 16 to 20 years old. Also on top of that, a mix of casks of Armagnac, Cognac, Sherry, which are very expensive casks to utilize in finishing. So you wrap that all together for 175 bucks, let's say 200. I think it's a pretty good value. The most I'd pay for this particular batch, I'd go up to 250 for this one. It's that damn good. Recommend, if any of you come across batch number 58, remember that number, 58, on the side of that bottle, it's an immediate pickup. Grab it, love it, enjoy it. Try it with some different cigars, but that batch right there, that batch 58, I'm telling you, it's one of the best cigar batches I've ever had. But again, this is gonna come for those of you out there that like darker, richer, oak-driven, dark fruit type flavors. If you're in for the brighter, more spicy, or the more tropical cigar batches, this one might not be for you, but for those out there looking for something deep, dark, and rich, batch 58, Darth Vader. Get your mask, put on some Star Wars, sip it through the little vent. You'll have yourself a good time. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review for cigar batch blend number 58, the Darth Vader batch. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Let me know down in the comments if you've had this one yet or what some of your other favorite cigar blend batches are. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers, and may the force be with you. Take care, everybody.